this is Chris. Hopefully everyone is having an awesome day. And today I will be showcasing the Farmer's Delight mod for 1.18.2, which is a mod that will allow you to build your own kitchen and cook a bunch of delicious meals. So let's start by cooking with this heavy boy right here, which is the skillet. And the way you craft the skillet is with wood brick and 4 iron ingots. And now you will have to find a heat source because that is the basics of cooking, obviously. And what you want to do is just shift right click and it should automatically place it on there. And it should also set up a rack. I don't know where I got the rack. But you know what? Let's just put some steak on it. By right-clicking on it, it's going to start searing. It's going to start looking delicious. And then it's just going to pop off of here. And here we have a steak. And you can put an entire stack if you want. But since I don't want to cook an entire stack, I'm just going to right-click again. And I should grab it back. And now all you want to do is just break it. And you can just break it with your hand. I don't know how you don't actually break your hand. But let's just go up to another heat source. So here we have a magma block. We're just going to shift right click and it's the exact same process. It's just going to start cooking. And yeah, I don't know why I'm showing you this again. So let's just grab it. Oh, that was an absolutely horrible idea. And now we have the last type of heat source, and this is a little bit different. So I'm going to use lava, but you can use fire if you want. And all you want to do is just put something in your offhand. So you know what, we're going to put some eggs on here because that is something that you can cook with a vanilla ingredient. And later on, I will show you all of the other ingredients over there at the restaurant. So now, all you want to do is just right click and it should just start cooking whatever's in your hand. So you'll hear it sear. I don't know why I have the eggshells still on, but it's going to give me a fried egg. And isn't this, oh, okay, you know, I forgot that did that. And now here's one more thing, and I think it's pretty funny. So you can actually use the skillet as a weapon. So I have put sharpness on here, and the normal one does 7 attack damage, but it's pretty slow at attack speed. And this one, it does 10 attack damage because it's enchanted. And let's just place the creeper, and okay, you know what, I forgot to put it on easy, so let's just try to destroy the creeper. No, okay, so we almost got it to blow up. And did you hear that noise? It's just so awesome when you just hit him. Okay, I almost did it in 2 hits, but you know what? Nothing can be perfect. Now, let me introduce you to the stove, which is a superior version of a pathetic campfire. And I'm sorry for calling it that, but it's just so much better. And the way you craft it is with 4 bricks, 3 iron ingots, and 1 campfire. Although the campfire does look nicer aesthetically, but this one does too. And you know what? Let's start cooking on it, and I'm gonna cook without a pot or a skillet. This is just so weird. So we're just gonna right click on it, and we're gonna place our raw fish. And I can't imagine someone in real life putting some fish on their stove without a pan. It would probably end up in a mess. But let's just wait. And you may have noticed this, but it does contain 2 more ingredients than what you could usually put on a campfire. And now let me just teach you a few other things. So if you want to extinguish this for some reason, I don't know why you would do this, but you could probably do it by accident with water. But I'm gonna use a shovel because I like the idea of just smacking a stove with a shovel. And now it has been extinguished. And the way to obviously light it again is just to light it again. So we're just gonna use a flint and steel. And to show you the superiority of a stove, I'm just gonna place one underwater. And I'm gonna place a campfire too. And you'll see that the campfire has already lost. But this is still lit. And we're just gonna place some food on it. And it should start cooking. And imagine some random dude just cooking with a stove underwater. That would... Oh, you know what? That would probably end up in a hot tub, but probably the worst idea to ever exist. Oh, here I have the fish. Yeah, good thing I caught it, or else they would have just floated away. And this is something that doesn't make sense. You can just right-click with a water bucket, and now it should be extinguished. And you can relight it underwater too. So now let's move on to the cutting board. So the way you craft a cutting board is with 2 sticks and 4 planks of any type. And now we're just gonna place this dude over here. And yes, I have to shift right click because this is a cabinet. And next we have the knives, because you obviously will need a knife. But I mean, you could probably just crush things with a cutting board. But the way you craft it is just with 1 stick and 1 diamond or whatever material you want. And for the netherite one, you already know how that works. So you know what? Let's just place down the mutton. And now we're just gonna right click with either knife, and it's just gonna give us some raw mutton chops. And I don't know where I got the bones from, but you know what? Doesn't matter, I got 2 of them. And there's other things that you will be able to cut later, so I'm gonna go over the veggies later, but I'm just gonna place this one down, and I'm just gonna cut it. And you see that I have some cabbage leaves, and I'm just gonna put it away. And you can even cut vanilla things like cake right here, so let me just place this cake. Looks so delicious. And you can just keep cutting it with your knife, and you get some of this delicious cake right here. And this also does serve as a weapon, so I have applied sharpness again to this, and now it does 8.5 attack damage compared to the 5.5 normal one, but it is much faster than the sword. So let's just place it down once I set it to easy. And now let's just fight the zombie with the knife, and we have killed him. That was actually much quicker than I imagined, and I just figured this out. But apparently once you eat cake, it makes you gain some speed boost, so I don't know what's in this cake anymore. Now, here's a few other uses for the knife. So the first one is to get ham, and you already know what's gonna happen, so we're just gonna go in here, and we're just gonna choose one of these guys. You over here who was staring at me, I'm just gonna kill you. So we're gonna kill him, and we didn't get it this time, but we're just gonna try again. So let's just keep killing pigs until we get some ham. So here we have some ham, and I wish the other mobs could drop it like zombie. Oh, okay, you know what? But it would be good for all of these other animals. That is so evil. Anyway, let's move on to the tree bark. So all you want to do is just place down your cutting board, place any type of log on it, and then you want to grab yourself an axe. So let's just grab it right here, and then you just want to smack it by right clicking, and you have stripped the log of its dignity and also its tree bark. And there's a few uses for the tree bark. So you can use it for papering, you can just use 3 of them, and it could be anywhere on the cutting board. And you can also use it for organic compost, which I'll cover later on. And now let's move on to the straw. So all you want to do for this is just grab yourself a knife and start smacking grass like a maniac. And you have obtained yourself some straw, and you can use this for decorative purposes. So let me just show you. So you can use it to make some canvas. And with this canvas, you can make signs, you can make tatty blocks, and ignore if I don't know how to spell it. And there's also one more use that I just found out about the cutting board, so let me just show you. So here I have some gravel, and I'm just gonna place it down on the cutting board, and now I'm gonna grab my shovel and just start smacking it, and eventually it will give you some flint, although it does take a while. So here we go, it has given me flint, and it also does always return the gravel, so that is absolutely awesome. So with this organic compost, you can make yourself some rich soil, and rich soil is pretty awesome because it allows you to grow your crops faster, and it will also allow you to grow a new type of food. So let's just start with the organic compost, and there's a few ways to actually craft this. So the first one is with 1 dirt, 2 straws, 2 bone meal, and 4 tree barks. And there's also the option to use dirt, 2 rotten flesh, 2 straws, and 4 bone meals. And this is probably the most disgusting of them, but it will give you this right here, and over time it will start turning into rich soil. So you can see that one of them has already turned into rich soil, and the rest of them are starting to transform. And there's a few things that you should know. So there's a few things that will make it grow faster. So the first one is for it to be under sunlight, and then the other one is for it to have adjacent water. So that means it just has water near it. And there's also the other one, which I'm gonna show you because this is a little bit more difficult, and that is by putting an activator. So let's just go somewhere and place the activator, and this is just pretty straightforward. So let's just find a piece of flat land over here, and all you want to do is just make something like this, and then just place any activator in the middle. So there are plenty of activators. So the first one is just organic compost by itself, so that is pretty handy. And there's also pots, so mycelium, rich soil, and mushrooms, and there's plenty of other things that you can see through here. So I'm just gonna go into just the items, and yes, here is all of the other ones. Now it is time to start using some of the rich soil, and we're just gonna make it compete to the death with some normal dirt. So let's just place down some dirt, and we're just gonna turn this into farmland. By the way, I didn't forget that step. And now we're just gonna place some water, and we're just now gonna make them compete. And you know what? Let's let them hydrate so they can start working. And by the way, this one doesn't actually require water, but it will get rid of the effect if you use it without water. So please don't use it without water. And let me just wait for them. Alright, so now it's a fair comparison, but no, it's not actually a fair comparison because this is gonna be so much faster. So let's just start it by just increasing the random tick speed because yeah, I don't want to stay around for the entire time that this takes. So let's just set it to, you know what, let's set it to 200, and now you're gonna watch them grow, and these are gonna grow so much faster, and you can see the bone meal effect, and this is just so pathetic. It was never a fair comparison to begin with, and they're just gonna, yeah, it's gonna take its time. And there's one more thing that I wanted to show you after I set the random tick speed back. And that is, you can actually trample this one, but you can't trample this one. This is just so much better in that sense too. And I'm just gonna get rid of them all. And I just love rich soil. So now I'm gonna show you the last thing that rich soil can do. So follow me into my dark basement. Oh no, that sounds so wrong. But you know what? We're just gonna plant some mushrooms on some of the rich soil, and it will give us some colonies. So let's just place all of these down. And I have exact change, by the way, so we're just gonna place these last ones down, and you're gonna see that they're gonna start growing into these tiny mushrooms that have mushrooms all over them. You know what? This isn't tiny. This is actually pretty huge. And here we have the other mushrooms growing, and I'm just gonna patiently wait. You know what? Let's just make it a little bit faster, not that much. So you're gonna see that they're gonna start growing like crazy, and we're just gonna keep waiting until one of them decides to be fully grown. So here we have a fully grown boy, and here we have a fully grown boy for the mushrooms. So here we have the brown one. I don't know why just a mushroom. How many times am I gonna say mushroom? So all of the mushrooms are done growing, and I don't think I can ever say mushroom again after saying mushroom so many times. But now let's just pick up all of them, and it almost gave me an entire stack for the red ones. Oh, we got 45 for each one of these. So it's just insane how much mushrooms these can give you. And we started with 9, which makes it even crazier. And here's one last section before moving on to cooking some delicious meals. So here, dude, you almost gave me a heart attack. So I'm out here in the wilderness so you can, dude, I'm out here in the wilderness so you guys can see that they do indeed grow out here in the wild. And now let's go back to the Phoenix space. I'm now back at the Phoenix space, and I'm gonna show you each individual wild crop. And the first one we have is the wild cabbage and the sea beets, and these both grow at beaches. And now I'm gonna break one of these, and you'll see that I'll get some of the cabbage and I'll get some of the new seeds. And unfortunately for some of these plants, they won't actually give you they won't give you new seeds. They will only give you the old vanilla seeds, and you can't actually grow these. You can only find them in the wild, hence why they're called the wild crops. And you can actually pick these up so you can use them for decorative purposes like I did. These are never gonna grow into normal ones. And here we have the wild potatoes, which grow in cold climates like taiga. So we're just gonna break it, and you'll notice that this drop a lot less potatoes since this is wild and it refuses to obey its master, unlike their other normal cousins that just grow in normal forms. And here we have a new ingredient, which are the onions, and we also have the wild carrots, and these both grow in temperate climates like forests and plains. So let's break the onions, and here we have some really good onions. And then we're just gonna break the carrots, and we're just gonna get normal carrots. And now let's move on to the tomatoes, which grow in arid climates. So that means they will grow in savannas and deserts. So let's just break them, and we have tomato seeds. And we also did get a rotten tomato, so later I'm gonna use it. You know what? Let's actually use it now. So let's see. So we've already tortured the pigs enough, so let's throw it at a chicken. And this won't actually do any damage. So yep, I don't even feel bad about, you know what? I should probably feel bad about that. And the last thing we have is rice. So rice will grow in swamps and jungles, and it also has to be like a 1 deep water, or else they won't actually grow because that would be too deep for them. So let's break these, and it will give you some rice particles, and I promise you that does give you rice. And I haven't tried this, so let me just break the base. And okay, yeah, it does give you rice. And by the way, it's probably pretty obvious, but please don't break the base, or else it won't regrow the panicle. And now about the panicle, so you can put it into the crafting grid, and it will give you some rice. So here, we're just gonna put it in here, and now we're just gonna craft it into rice. And now we have plenty of rice. By the way, there's no need to actually destroy the tomatoes like I did. I just violently destroyed the vines. But you can just right click like a berry, and you can just pick them from the vines. And you can also use the bone meal trick where you can just keep growing them over and over. And oh, another rotten tomato. So it's finally time to make our first meal, and this first meal doesn't actually require a cooking pot, so I don't know if I should consider this a meal, especially since it is a bacon sandwich. So we're just gonna grab our tomato, our cabbage, our ham, and our bread, and I just noticed everything right now, salmonella, because this thing is raw right next to okay, this is gonna be a disaster, but I'm just gonna show you something that you didn't know about the ham. So I'm just gonna place down the ham, and I'm just gonna bring down the hammer. Why did I say the hammer? I mean the knife. And we have some bone, and we have 2 raw pork chops, and now we're just gonna chop this into bacon, and here we have some raw bacon. And by the way, there will be some dinner service later on, so I'm actually practicing a little bit with this. So we're just gonna grab our first bacon once it comes off, and we'll just leave the other one laying there on the ground. So here we have our bacon, and now we're just gonna chop our lettuce. So let's chop it, and now we have some of our cabbage leaf, and now we are ready to construct this sandwich. So we're just gonna place our bread, we're gonna place our cooked bacon, our leaf, and then our tomato, and here we have our BLT sandwich, and then let's just eat this. Oh, okay, I'm not hungry. Alright, so now I'm hungry, so let's just eat this, and it just fills you so much. It's now time to actually start cooking a real meal. And yes, you will consider this a real meal because we are making ourselves a chicken soup. So we're just gonna grab ourselves the beetroot, cabbage leaf, carrots, and raw chicken cuts. And oh, I'm still traumatized about the possible contamination with E. coli or salmonella. I can even still hear Gordon Ramsay, yeah, being super angry about this right here. So now let's actually start. And oh yeah, I kind of forgot to introduce you to Mr. Cooking Pot. So here we have Mr. Cooking Pot, and I'm going to show you the crafting recipe. So the way you craft this is with 1 wooden shovel, and I cannot get over that. 1 water bucket, 5 iron ingots, and 2 bricks for the handles. And now we have ourselves a cooking pot, and I'm just going to return it right here. So let's start using it. So Mr. Cooking Pot, I'm just going to right click on you, and here we have everything. Yeah, we have the menu. So we're just gonna insert all of our ingredients. And by the way, it will start storing the ingredients right here. So I'm just gonna wait until it has a few of them in here. And you know what? Let's wait for the first one. So we almost have the first one. And here we have our first serving. And I'm just gonna show you something. So I'm just gonna wait for a few more servings. You know what? This is probably more than enough. So now I'm just gonna break the cooking pot while it's still cooking, and you may notice that everything still drops to the ground, but the only thing that doesn't drop is whatever's inside the pot. So we're just gonna right click, and here we have all of our servings. So yep, it just dropped everything except the servings, and this is how it works. So we're just gonna grab ourselves a bowl, and it's gonna serve the soup for us. And you could also just right click with it, and it's just gonna do the exact same thing. So let's just grab multiple servings. And here we have 7 servings of chicken soup. And let's not forget to eat the soup. And you may be wondering why I'm up here on the tree before I eat my soup. And that's because I'm going to show you that this will actually give you a new effect. So let's just eat this. And it has given me an effect called comfort. So this means that no matter how hungry I am, I'm gonna start healing a little bit. So let's just actually make ourselves hungry again so we can actually do this. So yep, give me a second. Finally took it a while. So now I'm just gonna jump off here and you're gonna see that I'm gonna start healing a little bit. So I am so hungry and yet I'm still healing, and you'll see that there's a tiny effect on the hearts. I don't know how to describe that. Yeah, that shiny effect. And I'm just gonna keep healing. And you know what? I don't know if you guys agree, but grandma's soup is the best chicken soup to ever exist. And here we go. We have finally completely healed. Now let me teach you how to automate your cooking pot. And let's just start by placing a brick over the stove and placing the cooking pot up here. And you're gonna be wondering why I'm so dumb, why I'm not placing it on the stove. And I'll get to that later. So now I'm just gonna throw away the brick to make space. And let's just install the hopper onto the cooking pot. So let's just shift right click, and here we have the hopper installed. And this just looks so weird, but it kind of makes sense. And now we're just gonna grab all of our ingredients, and I purposely did not slice the pumpkin. And yes, you can slice pumpkins, so let me just place down the pumpkin. And let me just use the knife, and okay, my nose is driving me crazy. So please forgive me if I sound so nasally. Anyway, I'm just gonna toss in the pumpkin. I'm gonna toss in the milk, the raw bacon, and the cabbage leaf. And this recipe, I'm not really sure, but it will turn out delicious. And now let's just grab a few other hoppers, and I'm gonna purposely place the hopper facing down. So you know what? Let's actually just place it normally. So now it's gonna start cooking because this is a heat conducting block. And if you're using the create mod, the chute is also one of the heat transferring blocks too. And you're gonna see the milk jump out. And now we have the milk bucket in here. And this is why you need to make sure that it's facing the right way. It'll always blast on the opposite side of the ladle, so it went flying this way. And now there's one more thing. So here we have some bowls inside of this basket, and now we're just gonna make the bowls go straight into the pot. So let's just shift right click on the pot, and now it's gonna insert a plate. And now all of the food has been transferred out of the pot. And now it is in here, and let me show you the thing you should be aware of. So now I'm gonna toss in some extra bacon, and you'll notice that the recipe has broken. So this is probably gonna get fixed eventually. The creator already knows this. And by the way, you do have milk bottles. So the way you craft some milk bottles is just with one milk bucket and 3 glass bottles. And you get 3 milk bottles, obviously. And they can only stack up to 16. And this is pretty helpful for recipes like this. So let's cook up a delicious feast of epic proportions. And this is gonna be so delicious. It's gonna make you mouth water an entire waterfall. Okay, yeah, that was a disgusting joke. But we're gonna make a stuffed pumpkin. And there are plenty of other mouth watering feasts. So now we're just gonna grab our ingredients. So let's grab our rice, our onion, our tomato sauce, our baked potato. And I'm just gonna stop doing this. Brown mushroom colony and sweet berries. And you may be wondering, how do you get mushroom colonies? And let me show you. So here we are at my basement again, and we're just gonna right click on the mushrooms and ignore whatever. Okay, you know what, let's just place this mushroom back here. So all you want to do is just break it with the shears. You do not want to shear the mushroom, or else I'll do this. What you want to do is break it. So we're just gonna break it like normal. And here we go. So all I'm doing is just left clicking. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing for these red mushrooms, just in case we need them at dinner service. So now that that is out of the way, let's start cooking this meal. So we're just gonna insert our rice, onion, tomato, baked potato, brown mushroom colonies, and sweet berries. And now we're just gonna wait for this to be done cooking. And yes, it's gonna shoot out the plate. Dude, where's the plate? Here we go. So I finally have my plate back. And just in time, because I am getting hungry. And this isn't served in the normal bowl. You serve it in a pumpkin, because it is stuffed pumpkin. And now, here we have our delicious stuffed pumpkin. And this is probably burning my hands. So let's place it down by shift right clicking, and it's gonna place it down, and you can't really eat it or anything because you actually need a bowl to serve this. You maniac, you can't eat this all alone. You have to serve yourself some of it. So here we go. I have served myself some of it, and eventually the entire feast is gone, and it has all been served into a plate. And now let's eat it because it does have another effect. So now we're absolutely starving, and we're just gonna eat the feast, and you can see that my entire hunger bar has turned golden, and that means that I can run as much as I want, and I can jump as much as I want, and I still will never be hungry. So let me just walk across the entire world, and this is probably gonna take me a while. And yeah, I should have mentioned this earlier, but this effect is called the nourishment. And now let me continue on with my walk. You know what? I'm gonna stop running because I've been running for so long that I've gotten bored of it. So I have made it to the observatory, and this is like 600 blocks from where I started. And you'll notice that I'm still just as full as when I left, and that is absolutely insane. And now let me show you the exact same trip without the effect. I have finally made it to the observatory again, and this time you'll notice they have lost 7 pieces of hunger, and I'm gonna probably start starving, and this is the reason why you should pack multiple feasts if you're gonna go on a big adventure. And something you guys should know about nourishment is it won't protect you from regeneration hunger. So now I'm gonna eat myself a feast, and I'm gonna light myself on fire. So I know this is probably a bad idea, but let's do this. So let me get set on fire. I'm on flames. And now I'm gonna walk off after it decides to start going down. So here we go. It has started going down, and I'm gonna keep taking damage, and I should probably get off. And you'll notice that my hunger bar has now finally dropped, and sometimes it will make the golden bits go away. I don't know what that means, but I do know that's not a great idea to be in fire. Now I think it's time to make some dessert and some drinks, but first let's start with the dessert since this is one of the most important parts of your meal. So we're just gonna grab our milk bottle and some wheat, and by the way, what we will be making is a sweet berry cheesecake, and I think I would want one in real life. I really feel like eating one. But anyway, let's first make the pie crust. So we're just gonna put some wheat and a milk bottle in the middle, and we're just gonna grab a pie crust. And I think, yeah, hopefully it's not still raw, and it just magically baked itself. And now let's grab the other ingredients. So we're just gonna grab ourselves a milk bottle, sweet berries, and now let's start making our cheesecake. And we're just gonna go straight into crafting grid, and we're gonna put our pie crust over here, our milk over here, and then a bunch of berries, and here we have our sweet berry cake. Yeah, we're just gonna place it down. I'm sorry for calling you a cake, your cheesecake. So we're just gonna chop it into pieces, but you can also just eat it like normal, and I have to be hungry. Alright, I think I might have made myself way too hungry, but we're just gonna eat a piece of it, and now we're just gonna chop off some pieces, and here we have some slices of cheesecake, so let's just eat all of them. And for some reason, it does make you go faster like the cake earlier. I don't know what's in these cakes or these desserts, but let's just ignore that fact. Now I'll be showing you all of the drinks in this mod because each one of them does have a different ability. So the first one we have is just normal milk in a bottle. And by the way, I already showed this earlier, but you just want 1 milk bucket and 3 glass bottles, and it gives you 3 milk bottles. And now we're just gonna drink this, so I hopefully this doesn't hurt too much. So here we go. So I have mining fatigue, we have jump boost, and we have speed. I was afraid that was gonna kill me or something. I'm always afraid the horse can maybe poison me. And now let me just drink the milk, and it should just get rid of one random effect. So it doesn't care if it's good or not, it's just gonna get rid of an effect. And now let's keep drinking milk until we have every effect gone. And now let's move on to the hot chocolate, which is crafted with 2 cocoa beans, 1 sugar, and 1 milk bottle. Or put it inside of the cooking pot and you got yourself some hot chocolate and it's served in a bottle. So now let's just drink this one. So it's named the exact same one, but now I am blind, and this is gonna only get rid of a random bad effect. So let's just drink it. So it's gonna get rid of my blindness. Hopefully, nope, it got rid of the slowness, and now it got rid of the blindness. And now it's time to move on to the apple cider. So the apple cider is crafted with 2 apples and 1 sugar, and you put it in the cooking pot and serve it with a glass bottle. And what this does is just give you some absorption. And I know that it's pointless to just test it, but here we go. So we have 2 golden hearts, and yeah, it won't stack because it's just like a normal potion. And the last thing we have is some melon juice, and this just gives you some minor instant health. So the way you craft it is with 4 melons, 1 sugar, and 1 glass bottle. And now let's hurt ourselves. So now let's jump off the waterfall, and we are hurt enough to drink our melon juice. So let's just drink it, and we're just gonna keep gaining more hearts. And yeah, I kind of didn't notice they gave you the bottle back, so that is a plus. And this mod doesn't just add food for you, it also adds food for your pets. So we're just gonna go in here, and I'm gonna grab the dog food and the horse feed. And yes, I have to make it clear that horse is gonna stop my pet. Oh no, he's gonna kill me if he hears this. But I'm gonna go out here, and we're gonna go to my doggo called Daniel. And now, let me just show you how you make this. So the way you make some dog food is with rotten flesh, and this is completely sus. And then we have 1 bone meal, 1 meat of any type, and 1 rice. I still don't feel safe about feeding it rotten flesh. But now, let's just feed it, and you'll see some sparkles all over your doggo, and then you get the particle effects. And now, let's make him fight a skeleton. And by the way, let me just tell you what it adds. So it adds speed for 5 minutes, strength for 5 minutes, and also resistance for 5 minutes. So it does make your doggo a tiny bit overpowered. And now let's actually make him fight something. And yeah, I have to make sure that's on easy. So I'm just gonna slice the skeleton slightly. Mr. Skeleton, where are you going? Okay, so here we go. And all right, so let's do take 2. So the doggo go in there. So he's gonna chase the skeleton across the restaurant. Go kill him. Okay, yeah, he's pretty angry. Kill him. And now that he doesn't have any effects, let's see how fast he takes to kill the skeleton. So skeleton, are you gonna even fight him? So let's just see. So yeah, it does take him a little bit longer without the food. So yep, the food is pretty helpful. Next we have the horse feed, which is crafted with 1 golden carrot, 2 apples, and 1 hay bell or rice bell. And the way you craft a rice bell is just with 9 rice particles. And what are you doing, dude? So yes, we are stuck with a donkey because Horskin apparently is still doing reservations. And yeah, it worries me that he hasn't even left his office all day.
Unfortunately, we don't serve any horse meat at our establishment, but we do have some fresh donkey if you want.
You know what? I think I should stop hurrying. So let's get on the donkey. And you will always notice the donkeys are so slow. Even though they can carry stuff, I pretty much hate donkeys because of this. But now that will change with the horse feed. And by the way, this will give them speed 2 and jump boost for 5 minutes. And you can only use this on horses, donkeys, and mules. But you can't use it on pigs or straders because apparently they don't like this kind of food. And now let's just feed this guy, and you will notice that he has healed, and he burped in my face. At least Horskin does stuff with it, but this guy is absolutely rude. But at least he can actually walk faster, and he's not absolute trash anymore. So now I'm gonna show you some of the non-food related items. And the first item we have is some rope, and this rope is crafted with 3 straws. And if you don't know what straw is, just go back to earlier on in the showcase and it should show you. And here I have some of the rope. And why do I say it should show you? I should show you. So now I'm just gonna use this rope for climbing down. So let's just right click on here and you'll notice that has placed some rope. And now you can just keep right-clicking on this rope, and it's gonna keep dropping down more and more rope. And you can even drop it while you're still climbing down. So let's just keep placing it, and now we have made it to the bottom, and we can climb back up just like with vines. And let's just go all the way back up here. And you know what? I don't want to go back up there because I'm going to show you another thing this can do, and that is ring a bell. So we're just going to make this bell ring. So let's just attach a rope to it by shift right clicking, and now we can just keep pressing on it until it just goes all the way to bottom. And yeah, you have to make sure that it doesn't attach like this or else it won't work. And now let's just use an empty hand, and I should be able to ring the bell with just the rope. Although I do wish the rope moved, but it doesn't matter. At least it does ring the bell. Next, we have the safety net, and this is crafted with 4 ropes. And now let's actually use it. And I have prepared a landing pad down here, and this is actually a little bit scary, but let's just jump and hopefully we do not die because I haven't tested it from that high before. And we have landed safely, and now we can continue on to the rest of the things. Now let me show you one of the new village homes added by this mod, and this is the Compost villager home. So there's literally just dirt inside and some compost outside, and that's pretty much it for the structure. And yes, there are different variations for each type of village. And why do I sound so excited over compost? And wait, what is this guy doing? Oh, why is there an armor stand? You know what? I'm not gonna question anything. This mod also adds some new trades. So here we have the wandering trader, and he has some rice. And why do I feel like the urge to kill this guy? I think a lot of people do feel this same urge. But now let's break into this villager's home, and here we have a bunch of onions. And in case you were wondering, this mod does add the loot absolutely everywhere. So here I am at a mine shaft, and in here we have a bunch of rope and a bunch of cabbage seeds. And oh, that fire is getting pretty bad. So the final few things that I wanted to cover are some of the decorative blocks. And let's start off with the cabinet. And the way you craft a cabinet is with 6 wooden slabs of your choice and then 2 trapdoors. And you have to make sure that the trapdoors match to whatever cabinet you're making. And I don't have to cover this because, yep, I've already covered that already. So now, let's move on to the canvas sign. And I just really love these signs compared to the normal vanilla ones. They just look so much better, my opinion. And these are actually dyeable, but this is how the normal plain one looks. I actually prefer to dye it. And you just dye it by putting a dye right next to the sign, so that there's no need to show the crafting recipe for that. So let's move on to the tatami blocks. And the way you craft these is with 2 canvases and 2 straws. And you can just place these down like this and they'll just connect like this. But they won't connect any further. And you can also just shift right click if you don't want to connect them. And I just love how these look. And now let me just clean this up. So here we have the tatami mats. And the way you craft these is just by putting a tatami block on the crafting table. And it gives you 2 full tatami mats. And you can craft the smaller one by just placing it back at the crafting table. So like this. And you just get 2 of them. And now let's actually I already placed these down. Why am I saying and now place these down? And I just love how these look, and they look like mats that would protect you from falling and snapping your neck. Anyway, let's move on to the canvas rug. So the way you craft the canvas rug is just by putting a canvas in the crafting table, and it gives you 2 of these. And I also love how these look. I actually love how all of the blocks here look. And next up, we have the basket, and this is crafted with 3 canvases and 4 bamboos, and you can just store things in these. And the final block that I wanted to show you guys are the crates and also the bag. And the way you make these is just by putting the food you want and just putting it like this on the crafting grid. So just place 9 of them and you get these crates. So here we have the onion one, the carrot one, the potato crate, the beetroot crate, and the cabbage crate. And we also have the bag of rice, which is crafted with a bunch of rice, obviously. Alright, so it's almost time to open the restaurant, so I'm just gonna hurry it up a bit and try to get inside. Oh my god, Horsican, you almost gave me a heart attack. Why didn't you tell me you're gonna be out here?
You told me we were opening at sunset, so that's why I'm here. Also sorry for almost scaring you to death.
Okay, yeah, Horsican, I accept the apology, and I did say that. And are you gonna attend to customers?
I just want to relax out here for a bit.
Okay, Horsican, I'll just leave you out here, but I'm just gonna hurry it up and get into the kitchen. So we're just gonna, I've never seen that meat before. You know what, let me just try to grab it. Oh no, oh no, please don't tell me. Horsican, you gotta be kidding me. Where the heck did you get the donkey?
I caught the donkey that you were riding, then I humanely butchered it.
Oh, Horsican, that is absolutely dark even for you. You know what? I'm just gonna go inside. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I'm just gonna look at the customers. Oh, what? What the heck? Why is there so many customers? Oh no, please. Oh no, I think I can fill the entire restaurant with so many customers. This is gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna take me all night. So I'm just gonna end the video here before I start the entire process of cooking everyone will be at the same time. So that was it for this mod showcase. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. I had a lot of fun learning how to cook. So I can attend all of these customers. And yeah, great thing that nothing can be burnt, because in real life you can burn stuff, but here you can never burn anything or ruin the flavor. And I still hate Horsican for inviting everyone at the exact same time. And wait, they're paying customers. At least I'm gonna get paid. But anyway, don't forget to burn that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you happen to be enjoying my content. Let's try to get to 30 likes so I can cook you a delicious meal. Oh, that sounded creepier than I imagined. And don't forget to have an awesome day or night, and see you all later. Bye!